This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A-game. A-man, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A-game, better bring your A-game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A-game. A-man, no rain from...
Hey now, it's the Mike and JD Show, and I'm your host, Mike Gilbert, and I'm joined as always by JD, by God Oliva. How you doing, JD?
Busy. Wrestling season officially starts tomorrow, both the little kids and the high school, and I'm not going to have a free moment for the next 3.5 months. Love it.
Yeah, this is the real busy season for old JD here.
Won't be as bad this year because I'm not doing the grad school thing, but yeah, it's been lighter actually this year than in years past, so that's good. Hopefully that continues on into the winter. So how you doing?
Good. We had a good weekend. We went, I don't know why, but because, we went camping for like almost a month and a half straight over the summer when we traveled from California. Like we started in Hawaii, picked up the camper in California, and lived in that damn thing off and on for about like 6 weeks.
Right?
Yeah. And for whatever reason, like I was like, okay, I'm done with the camper for a long time. I don't want anybody to bring up the camper. But for some reason, like 2 weeks ago, we were like, we missed the camper. We have this beautiful house here, 2,500 square foot, all these bedrooms and bathrooms. And, we got the beautiful kitchen. And for some reason, we wanted to go sleep at a campground with inside this little itty bitty camper and sit outside and build a fire. I'm like, which is funny because I have a chimney in the house. We could literally build a fire in the house. I have a propane fire table outside, but we actually just prefer to sit outside in front of a stone thing and just build our own fire and do it outside and do s'mores and stuff. So that's what we did over the weekend.
Dude, we got a fireplace here. I've never turned it on. Like, I completely understand. There's something about the camper though. It's the freedom, right? Like you're getting out of the house. You're just traveling and doing stuff. Yeah, I took the kid and the wife to go see Back to the Future at the, It was re-released over the weekend. I've never actually seen it on like a big screen. So that was pretty cool. I quite enjoyed that. And I spent the day with the family yesterday, and for the life of me, I can't remember what we did.
Nice.
Like we went to the outlet mall, just hung out, spent time with the family.
Yeah, it's cool. We got a lot of outside time, which was cool. We're at this place. It's actually like 20 minutes from the house. We live close to a lake. But the lake access that we have in our HOA is very limited, and it's kind of hidden, and you have to like walk behind the clubhouse and the community and go down this like thing where it's not even, they don't have stairs or nothing. It's like, it's more of a man-made trail. Like people just decided, hey, look, there's the lake. We can figure out a way to get to it. And so they made their own trail. And there's no real place to hang out down there. But if you go 20 minutes up the road, same lake, they have, campgrounds, they got a store, they got a playground, they got pickleball and volleyball and all kinds of stuff. So we went down there and hung out and spent a weekend at the lake. So it was cool, man. Hey, you were talking about wrestling earlier, and I've been meaning to ask you. Yeah. I've been meaning to ask you, did you watch the latest Real American Freestyle? Were you able to catch up on any of that?
No, I followed the results online. This previous card, there's a major upset with Nate Jackson beating Carter Strachey, who was a 5-time NCAA champion. Will be the only 5-time NCAA champion. We had goofy rules during COVID where nobody fucking graduates. Like if you had eligibility at any point during COVID, you got an extra year tacked down. So this dude from Penn State won 5 titles, and he just lost actually to somebody. So I wasn't really following. They are running Chicago. Yeah. I don't love the card. I know it's probably gonna get me in trouble, people. I know I don't love the card. It's a lot of old like MMA guys in their 30s. Right. Like, and I'm like, to that.
And Holly is on that card too, right? I think she's
probably
been.
I forget. Yeah. Like I know like Corey Anderson's on the card, and I know a lot of people here in LA went, who? Like a lot of people like just
he was a good fighter. He did well for himself in UFC, but he never was like a top fighter. I think he's a light heavyweight. He was never like, it was hard to break through that upper tier light heavyweights. I think he ended up going to Bellator for a little bit, but
I probably coached against him, and I have no idea who he is. Like he just wasn't a name in wrestling. That's the problem with a lot of the RAF stuff. Is a lot of these MMA names, and like I don't know, man. One of my former wrestlers actually is going to wrestle a Russian Olympic champion on the card. That got announced last week, and I talked to his mom, and I'm like, well, shit, now I gotta go.
yeah.
So I mean, I have to go watch one of my former guys. Like, and Bo Bassett is actually gonna be on the card, and he's actually a high school kid. He's a high school kid who just won the Bill Farrell major freestyle tournament. Last year, we had about 4 high school kids who were legitimate contenders to make the senior world team, and that's really never happened. So we have and this kid's got the biggest social media following. This particular Bo Bassett, he's a junior. He's an old junior. He just committed to Virginia Tech, made big story there. He's going to be wrestling on this card. He's wrestling Darian Caldwell, who was a national champion in 2009.
Yeah.
Also a Bellator guy. It's just, I don't know, man. I want to support this. I'm not going to get and I know all these guys will probably get in trouble. I'm just not going to buy a subscription to Fox Nation to watch. Like the first card, they put all those matches on Reddit, and so I was able to watch it. I have not seen anything from the second card. I will see the third. It's in Chicago. It's at the same place I usually watch AEW at, so I know the arena really well. It's downtown. It's a real nice setup. I am super curious because I do like the production value. I do have a vested interest in this show. I just wish I liked the matches more. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I don't know how to build a professional amateur wrestling league or freestyle league. I don't know. I'm not bitching. I wish there were more like wrestling guys on the card and not so many MMA guys. Personal opinion.
Yeah. At least all the MMA guys have a wrestling background. Like they were except for Holly Holm, who does not. I don't believe Holly Holm was a college wrestler.
No, but she's trained with Izzy for over a decade now. So she has Izzy's a really great wrestling coach, brilliant wrestling mind. So like she's got a solid background in wrestling at this point. I think she probably trains a lot with Kennedy Blades. So I mean, she's competent enough to do what they're doing. So, whatever.
Yeah, and she's in her mid 40s, and I think like right before, like she's wrestling again, she's actually gonna box again. She's going back to boxing. She's fighting on one of the Paul kids are doing a card in kids. I call them Paul kids. Either Logan or Jake, or they're doing a card in Puerto Rico, and I think she's gonna be on that one. So
cool. Good luck.
Yeah. But yeah, so there was actually a lot of news happening in pro wrestling over the last few days. And I think the top story that we want to hit, it's not the biggest story, but I think it's the most recent one. So we'll start with that is, AEW has decided they're going to have more belts. They want to break the record for most belts in a single promotion. They see the WWE creates new belts with their 3 different brands. They're like, okay, well, we can top that. So they recently got the national championship, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But they also decided they're going to do a women's tag team championship, which I am not against. I'm fine with that. They're going to do, they got a tournament coming up, so they're bringing in more tag teams. Which obviously you got a division. You should probably bring in tag teams. TNA, take note. Tony Khan is going to create a division, so he's actually going to have tag teams and not just rotate 2 to 3 tag teams, have them break up and do the same storylines over and over again. He looks like he's actually going to have a real division here. So part of that, they decided to go ahead and bring in a tag team of Nixon Newell, and who was the former Tegan Knox in WWE. I think she was named after one of the singers from Tegan and Sarah. That's my theory on that. But JD, what's your favorite Tegan and Sarah song?
I've never heard of them.
Probably for the best.
I'm not familiar. What do they do?
If you're a masculine male, you probably don't listen to Tegan and Sarah. But for whatever reason, in 2011, I went through this weird time in my life where I was listening to kind of like lesbian pop folk rock, and that's where they lie.
No, I'm not. I believe me. I'm not singing. I'm an alpha. I only listen to rock because I do, dude. I was listening. My wife and I were jammed with the Cranberries earlier today, and I do.
Dude, I love Cranberries. Yeah.
No one ever sounded more Irish than singing than the late great Dolores O'Riordan. I mean, I'm not. My kid and I were also listening to Belinda Carlisle, so I'm not like that guy. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's good swaths of like music in my early 30s that I just didn't connect with at all. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Yeah. For some reason, like in that time period for me, Tegan and Sarah, and then this lady named Laura Marling, for whatever reason, like I loved them. And to this day, like every once in a while it'll come on my playlist and I'm like, I gotta be the only 42-year-old white listening to this shit, but I guess I am. So
Male, yes. Sure.
yeah.
Like,
But anyway, they brought her in and her tag team partner Miranda Alizé.
did Miranda Alizé? Now, this is my lack of Fed knowledge. Did Miranda Alizé have a cup of coffee with the WWE, or is she just
I,
from the Indies? Because I just remember her from the Indies.
I think she's just from the Indies. I get the feeling she might have like done some jobs there, like work some tapings and stuff like that as an enhancement talent, but I don't think she was ever signed there. Like Tegan Knox, or Nixon Newell had a run there for a while, but battled a lot of injuries, and so never really broke through because of her injury issues. Like women in NXT tend to like they have to donate their ACLs if they want to get ahead in that company. Unfortunately, she donated both. And,
Well, yeah,
and
overtrain. You overtrain the way they do, and it leaves your knees susceptible when you're just, I don't know, just the way they train wrestlers. They train them like, explosive athletes, and
Yeah.
like the stuff they do, you can get hurt with, and a lot of them are not in-ring injuries. A lot of these are training injuries, and injuries, especially ACLs. You could pop an ACL doing anything, like it can
Yeah.
happen. But
in
yeah.
football, an ACL tear is usually a non-contact injury. It's like
Usually,
you stepped on it wrong. So,
Mhm.
So anyway, that's the backstory. Nixon Newell had been in WWE. She was released, I think, like a year ago, and now she has a tag team with Miranda Alizé, and they've been working the Indies. And AEW decided to bring them in, and they worked. I think they worked a taping last week. I think they worked Dynamite, and they were brought in for Collision, and they cut a promo, and they were getting ready for their match, and they found out that their match was going to go less than 3 minutes, and they were going to job out. And they said, that doesn't work for me, brother. And I disagreed with that outcome, and they couldn't come to a resolution, so they walked. they walked out of the Collision taping. They're not signed with AEW. They're there looking for a job, and when they didn't like what the employer had for them, they said, I am out. Now, I don't always hate stuff like this. Like, JD, just follow me. Like, I think for some people it works. I think for these two, I think they just cost themselves a lot of money in their career, because I think a lot of people are not going to want to touch them.
I mean, like, it's weird. Like, these are such like Rorschach questions. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of it depends on where you fall. Here's the deal. And like, I'm with you. I think more talent should be willing to say no, especially in this company. There's too many people willing to put over their buddies.
Yeah.
And it's been like that from jump. The Young Bucks can't wait to put people over. Like the Kenny Omega loves losing. Like, and they do. They're giving. They want to use their cred to help people. However, Miro did a podcast, or Rusev did a podcast where he was like bitching about doing jobs. And he named two people he jobbed to, and then like kind of stuttered because he couldn't think of the third, because there was no third.
Yeah.
The man did 2 jobs in 5 years.
Right.
So this is a problem with a lot of the talent that comes over from the WWE is they think they're too cool for school. So you get into a Malachi Black situation where, like, you always used to joke that he had such a bad back injury he couldn't lie down for 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to have recovered nicely in WWE, by the way. So
both Rusev and Malachi Black they've been back in WWE for less than a year, and they've already lost more matches than they did their entire stints in AEW. Fascinating.
Yeah, and but they thought AEW was beneath them the whole time they were working there. So I think that Tony Khan is doing what Vince used to do. And not everything that Vince used to do is wrong, right? Vince used to bring people in and make them put people over. See how humble they're willing to be, right? For Vince, it was a case of, are you willing to work in the biggest company in the world? For Tony, it's like, are you willing to have a job, right? Because the last thing he needs is more people causing shit. And if you're a star, like if you're Mercedes or Punk or someone like that comes over and you have some accrued interest, well, you're a draw. You have more leverage. if you're Nick Newell and your claim to fame is how many ACL knee surgeries you've had, you have less leverage to bargain with, and like I think you just screwed yourself on a job. Like when you don't have, this is what's crazy. When you don't have a job, you've got to be a little, I don't know, willing to eat some, not necessarily eat some shit, but show that you're willing to play ball. And they're like, I guess they just wanted more time on the show. Well, who doesn't want more time on the show? Like, show that you want to be there. Tony Khan has proven time and again, if you're willing to play ball, he'll push you. Kyle Fletcher put over everybody, and now he's one of their like top young guys. Same with Takeshita. So, I mean, like, the proof is there that if you're willing to, and Willow Nightingale, same deal. If you're willing, they'll push you, but they just prove that they're not really employable. Now they're going to hold off for TNA, hopefully hiring them.
I don't think TNA is bringing them in. I think that Miranda Alizé probably ruined that one with some of her behavior for a long time ago. Tell you offline on that one.
I'm curious. Can't wait to hear.
There's a rumor out there about her. But you know, you're right. It's a leverage game. And if you're a star, you can get away with this. But if you're a star, you should do this stuff. You should protect yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a talent that hasn't been on TV in a while and you're looking for a job, you should be thankful for the fact that you got 3 minutes on national television, right? That somebody was willing to put you on national television for 3 minutes, because you know nobody has been willing to do that for a long time. You got fired by the bigger company, and it wasn't because you were on a hot streak, right? That's it. And I just don't understand it. Like when I started this new job that I got, I'm kind of like, you know, I had a really, really good military career, great resume, right? And they brought me in at a certain level, and I came in and my attitude is like, you know, you guys are paying me, my check is clearing. I bought this house because because you guys are promising me a certain amount of money, like it's in our deal. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep this money or to continue making a living. I got kids to feed, right? And so they've asked me to do some stuff that when I was a master sergeant was probably beneath me, but that's not me anymore. I'm this guy over here. I'm an AVP, an associate vice president, which means dick in this world. So like they asked me to do some spreadsheets. They've asked me to do some like lower level admin work. I don't supervise anybody. And I'm like, that's fine. Cause guess what? I got to earn my way up. I got to earn their trust. Like, you were good in military. Can you be good over here? And I'm trying to prove to them that I'm willing to do the small things. I'm willing to do the little jobs, that no jobs that I'm, you know, like I'm not bigger or better than any role they're willing to give me. And I'm always going to earn my way until I move up the ladder. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how some of these wrestlers, when they go to any company, it doesn't matter the 3 letters, any company they go to, they got to be willing to go there and work hard and work their way up.
When I started teaching, I was a really good wrestling coach. I don't mean to brag about that, but I mean, I've got a resume. It's why I was brought in. It's why they wanted to work with me. Let's start teaching. I had to eat some humble pie and do some garbage duty and, you know, learn.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I kind of had done well. Like I'm pretty happy to say I work harder than about 85-90% of my coworkers. I had made a deal with someone at school about things that I could do and things that I wouldn't do. And an admin tried to renege on my deal. And I said, I thought we had a deal. And they said, no, we're changing the terms of your deal. And this was a breaker for me. And I kind of said, okay, then I guess you're gonna have to find someone to teach mid-semester. And they were surprised that I was willing to do that. I come from a freelance world. So like, I'm of the mind that money is there's always money to be made. Yeah. And it was a very big gamble. And my wife was not happy when I told her this story. But I was like, I believed in this. I said, I will stock shelves at Amazon. I'm not doing, we made a deal. I'm not doing this. And I had a long talk with my boss and she said, we did make a deal and that person should not have reneged on you. So we will go back to the terms of your deal. But because I have that, I have to kick ass. Yeah. And continue to kick ass because I do throw my weight around a little bit when I have to. But then when you do that, you got to back it up, man. And I'm very proud of the fact that I have backed up what I did. But I mean, they haven't done anything in AEW. Like, in, I guess, Transferring Heat in the comments says, well, I'm going to try to pull it up. It's bad for me to do this. Tegan is retiring next year. Yeah. Okay, then that's exactly what AEW should have done.
Right.
is have her come in and put some. If you're saying, well, I'm not really interested in working full time, well, then there's even less reason for AEW to work with you, because why would they even listen to you if you have zero interest in investing in them, right?
Yeah. And because they walked out, two other people got their spot. And those two people are probably going to get a job. One is named Hyen, who I actually like.
Hyen been around for a while.
Yeah, she works in TNA tapings. I was impressed by her. And the other one's named Maya's World. I've never seen her, so I clearly didn't watch Collision last night. I just heard the story. So, but because of that, like, everybody's impressed by them. They went in and did the job as requested, and people that go in and do their job as requested, and they do a good job, and they maximize their time, they typically get more time later, right? It's the same principle in like football. If you're like a lower level undrafted free agent coming onto the team, you're probably going to get on the field by working special teams. If you're going out there kick ass in special teams, you might start getting into the lineup a little bit and start making some plays. And the more plays you make, the more time, the more you maximize your minutes, you might actually end up getting a starting job one day. And that's, you professional wrestlers need to think of the same way. The same in acting too. If you get a lower level role and you're coming in and you're killing your scene as requested by the director, then you might actually get more screen time later. You know what I mean?
Brother, I was a walk-on, right? I was a walk-on at a Division I university as a wrestler. I didn't have a resume for shit when I was in high school. I was a kid who didn't know what the hell he was doing. It was pretty athletic and pretty strong. I walked on. My freshman year, I was the third worst kid on the team, and the other three kids quit. So I had to do some garbage time for a good year and a half until I earned my way up to the point where I was never the coach's guy. And he said, whoever wins, when I was juniors, whoever wins this tournament gets a spot. Guess who won the tournament? Nice. So, I mean, like, you had to, I literally had to kick, claw, and scratch my way for every opportunity I had. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. And I took many an ass whooping my freshman year.
Yeah, let's see. Antonio Baker says, well, Mike, I think he means our Niners are still going to play ball control football even when they're down 2 touchdowns, and still play zone even when the game dictates they play man. Well, they just got their asses kicked. That's all that happened today. Like they got manhandled by the St. Louis Rams. I'm calling them St. Louis. I don't care.
How about those Bears?
Bears 6-3 now.
Hell of a comeback.
Good. Yeah, looking good. The Bears are actually, I think the 49ers and the Bears play later this year. So that actually might be a good game. They're typically like one team is either good and one team's really bad, or they're both bad. Neither team is like pretty good when they play. So might be interesting.
I'm going to have to start paying attention to the Bears, because I got a bunch of texts today. Go the Bears. And I'm like, oh, are they decent now? So I started looking. I'm like, holy shit, Bears are playing good. So yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty decent. So what do you think of this AEW national title NWA situation? Does NWA have a gripe here with this? So let's give a little bit of backstory.
Lay on the backstory.
AEW is introducing the AEW national title, and it's going to be defended internationally because their intercontinental title, whatever it's called that Okada has, it's called the Continental Unified. What other title is it?
It's the Continental and the International. Which
Continental,
was
International,
the International,
the Unified.
Hold on, the International was the All Atlantic. Then it became the International. Now it's the Unified.
Okay, so that's the title that was supposed to be defended internationally, but they created a national title that's going to be defended internationally with their partners. Okay, so right, we're starting with a negative, right? And then they went on to say, and it carries the lineage of the NWA national title. And Mike Mondo raised his hand. He's like, hold on. I'm currently the NWA national champion, and we've been claiming this heritage. Now we know that that's not true. Like, that title died 40 years ago, but
yes, Nikita Koloff was the last person. And I checked with John Muse, so I know this is accurate.
Yeah,
Nikita Koloff is the last person to hold the original NWA national title, which was Georgia. That was the top belt in the Georgia territory.
Right, but it's their gimmick. They've been doing they restarted it, and the NWA national title has been alive for this promotion for years. And NWA just said, "Fuck your couch. We don't care about your IP or anything like that. we're just gonna say that we have the heritage now. And it's like, so,
I mean,
and which I think is kind of rude.
here's the deal: the WWE did that with their World Championship. They adopted WCW's lineage, which WCW adopted the NWA World Title lineage. Like,
Right.
it's all bullshit. I mean, none of these things are real. Like,
Right.
if I don't know, man. Who cares? Like, it's not. It's all a fucking work.
I
Like,
get it, but doesn't Mike Mondo have a gripe here? Like, he's like, hold on, I'm still here.
I guess. I mean, he
Yeah.
gave himself a chance to get attention because, be honest with you, how many people actually knew that Mike Mondo was the NWA National Heavyweight Champion before
I
this?
didn't know.
realistically?
I didn't know he still wrestled. Right.
Neither.
So this is like this might be a
Like,
good thing for him. 'Cause
I think
didn't
it
know he was
is.
still wrestling.
Honestly, the NWA National Championship hasn't meant this much since they relaunched that belt.
Yeah.
I mean, the NWA is what it is, man. It gets less attention now than it's ever gotten. Like,
Right.
hold on, I'll come back to that in a second. I mean, I honestly, I think having this AEW national title gives them a little bit of something. I don't know why they laid claim to. I don't know if they laid claim to the lineage or if they were just kind of saying, "Hey, on TBS, we used to have the national title defended on this show," and
Yeah.
it was weird. Like, I remember people like, "Oh, Tony must have bought the lineage," and I remember thinking, "No, I doubt it. Why would he do that? Like, that would make no sense to me." Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Just say, same title. Like,
Right.
dude, every title. Okay, go back to the history of the U.S. title, right? The same U.S. title that is on WWE right now goes back to North Carolina, the Carolinas territory. That U.S. title splinters off a million different directions, going back to Vern Gagne, right? Every one of those U.S. championships just adopted the lineage just to say, yeah, we're that. That's us. Like, I mean, and that's not just wrestling, that's boxing too. That's why the term undisputed champion exists, because there was tons of disputing of who was champion. Right? Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
I think at the very least it's rude. Like, I don't know if it's stealing. I think it's just quite rude to do that. Like NWA, they don't have a whole lot going on for them. And AEW is like this big company on these two big networks, and they're doing great on pay-per-view. And it's like, you know what? Let's like fuck NWA. We're just gonna take their belt and their lineage right from under them.
I don't think Billy and Tony get along. Remember when Tony was all salty about not getting credit for helping pay for Billy's women's title tournament? Remember that shit from
He said that he sent his wrestlers there and he paid his wrestlers to go there.
I thought he paid,
and then he said that Billy never thanked him.
Yeah, it's like fucking rich guys get so fucking petty.
I know, man.
I mean, they're like teen girls with their burn books and shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know, they're both from Chicago too. You'd think they'd be friends, but I guess not. So
first, whoa! Champaign is not Chicago, and neither is Carroll Stream. So,
okay,
Chicago-ish.
I think the bigger controversy is that AEW is adding another title, another singles championship.
Let's not bury the lead here. Like, is this a company? Like, goddamn, does Tony Khan love title belts? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why. It's like CMLL. Everybody needs a belt, and none of them fucking mean a goddamn thing.
Right?
Like, who cares? Like, who fucking cares? Like, am I gonna have to go on Twitter and someone's like, "Oh wow, the national title in AEW"? Blah blah blah. Nobody fucking cares, man. I'm titled out, to be quite honest with you.
Yes, and I know the moment they created the title and people complained about it, and I thought had a gripe. I think that I think it's a good complaint. Like, we have too many titles in AEW. We've thought that for a while. Because now
added like 4 titles since we said that conversation last.
Yeah. And because you're also like the Ring of Honor titles get defended on AEW television. So it's like, wait, there's a ton of titles. Now people will then invariably point at WWE and say, well, guys, your criticism is not valid because WWE also bad. And I'm just like, guys, that can suck too. But I think it's okay for AEW fans to have a higher standard than some of the bullshit that WWE is doing on their TV. Like, they're trying to get AEW to be less like WWE. And now they're adding another ridiculous title. And it's like, okay, then complaining about it. And then out comes the Warriors, the sicko Warriors defending AEW. Is like, well, hold on, look at WWE's belts. It's like, no, you're absolving them from all criticism because WWE might be worse. What are you doing? It's weird.
No, they're wrong. AEW is worse. They have way more titles. Like, at least I don't. It's just,
well, yeah.
At
least like the, because if you're adding up the titles that are on Raw and SmackDown, and then you got the titles on NXT and like Evolve, WWE ID, like it is more collectively. But like you're watching Raw, you're not going to see all those other titles, and if you're watching SmackDown, you're not going to see all. Like, you're only going to see the ones that are defended on the other brands.
But then they also have their partner promotions come out with their titles too. Takeshita is also the IWGP champion.
Yeah.
Like Mercedes comes out with a freaking armada of title belts, which by the way, I'm okay with that gimmick. I think it's pretty good. But I don't know, man. I think there's just I mean, this shocking hot take here, but I think there's just too many title belts in pro wrestling in general.
Yeah. It's it is quite the crazy phenomenon, and it just feels like it's a booking crutch for AEW right now. Whenever, and I don't know what the deal is. Like, we got a couple tournaments coming up, and it's like, you know what? Let's just have a battle royal and create another new title, and it makes no sense to me.
I like tournaments. I think tournaments are very sports-ish and can work. I mean, to be quite frank, like even pro sports has gone crazy. Why is the NBA having this like early season tournament for reasons like what?
Yeah,
why?
they have a mid-season tournament before the All-Star break. They just randomly in December will just do a tournament. Like, it started a few years ago.
Well, I mean, it's just like random games don't count anymore. Like, everything is just so freaking weird. It's like bowl games. Like, we have a bowl. Like, I feel the same like college football. There's 8 billion bowl games. Do any of them really mean anything? Like 3. The rest of them are just like another game to play, but they get paid for it. So
yeah, you can be sub 500 and get to a bowl game. You can win a bowl game championship, and it doesn't mean anything other than your school gets a check because they're all sponsored, right?
That's
so if you get the Barstool Sports has their own bowl game. If you win the Barstool Bowl, you get a check from Barstool for your school. That's it. That's the only thing you get.
Cool. And dude, I believe me, I was a competitor. I get it. I mean, like, it's so funny because I'm a wrestler. I've been to a bazillion tournaments in my lifetime that really don't mean anything. Like, it's just competing to do something because it's what we do. So I of all people should not bitch about these things. Yet here we are.
So the more AEW discourse continued over the weekend. The David Zaslav was doing an interview, and he made the mistake of he might have told the truth in public, which if you're an executive, you probably shouldn't do that. It's a rough one. Yeah, but he came out and said, and I think it was covered by Forbes magazine, that live sports has not really made a difference on HBO Max on the platform. Which caused a big stir in the wrestling community, because if you go to HBO Max, if you want to watch AEW, you have to go to the sports tab. And I've been complaining about this forever, and that's why I never really thought that they did that well on HBO Max, because it's not on the front page. You have to go to a different tab, or you have to run a search for it if you want to watch it after the fact. And which I think is annoying. I think it should be on the front page, but whatever. So it's considered a sport on HBO Max, but it's considered entertainment on TNT and TBS. So that became like a whole thing. But I think at bottom line is it doesn't sound like any live sports, including AEW, is doing all that well on HBO Max.
What does it mean? I mean, realistically, I know the ratings for just about everything are really down right now, especially really wrestling. Down. So like, if you're getting 300,000-400,000, like, in the grand scheme, that's not a whole lot of anything. But for the AEW's total viewership, it helps them.
I mean, dude, I think if AEW got 300,000 or 400,000 on Max, I think they'd be doing backflips. I don't think it's anywhere near that.
I don't know if it's not that. Like
in NBA, the conversion rate for NBA is like 10% to streaming from cable to streaming.
What's NBA getting right now?
It's like $1.4 million, sometimes upwards of $2 million, depending on the matchup. So
getting 100,000, roughly.
Yeah. So the 10% conversion rate for AEW, they were at what, like 490 something, like close to 5. You're talking 50,000.
Wow, they'd be a lot lower than
Which
I thought it would be. Well,
which is kind of what I would like.
shocking if that's, and this is why, and there's the
We
thing
don't
though,
know.
is this is why we don't
Yeah.
know, and we don't know what these numbers are. And like, I've always been suspect on Nielsen to begin with because it was always kind of a shot in the dark.
Right.
So like, the fact that companies are, has the streaming bubble burst, Mike? I think maybe it has.
I think so. And this whole thing with ESPN and YouTube TV is kind of telling me so. And
Lay it
then
on people.
I think cable is more popular than we had thought. Like, I know it's dying, but once YouTube TV lost ESPN, it became a huge story. And ESPN is trying to drive subscribers to their over-the-top app. It's like $30 a month, and that's how you get the WWE. And people just aren't going. They're just holding out. Like, people are finally like putting their foot down. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting another subscription. Pat McAfee works for ESPN, and he said, "No, I'm putting my foot down. I'm not subscribing to the new ESPN. I'm not doing it. I have YouTube TV because of Red Zone, and I'm going to stick with that." Like, a lot of people are finally standing up against it because these streaming prices are out of control. There's way too many streamers. If you want to watch all the NFL or all the NBA, you have to have like 10 different subscriptions. It's ridiculous.
I think Zaslav, it's funny that Zaslav said that too, when he's in the process of, he's the bell, which we haven't talked about. He is the bell of the ball right now. There's, and I mentioned this because when the Paramount leak happened a month and a half ago, I said, let's hold on this because everybody's already saying this. I said, let's put a pin in this. JD was on something.
Yeah.
Warner does not want to, Zaslav does not want to sell to Paramount, mainly because a lot of what Paramount wants to do, the new Paramount, they want to have like, and the people are concerned about the MAGA stuff. I'm more concerned about like, they want to have like a full AI developed film studio.
Yeah.
Like, they just want AI films. I think that's stupid and very, very short-sighted, not because it's going to happen, but
Right.
I don't think the market wants that yet. They may in the future, but right now, like if you're going to put out a Superman movie that's all AI, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think the market wants that. People still, the one thing that is bankable is like star power, and you can't create star power.
Thank you.
Like, and the thing is, this Ellison guy is complete and total. Like, the thing with rich people, and I want us all to understand this. Rich people live in this little bubble, right? And they think that what they perceive the world to be is what it really is. And occasionally rich people have to like have that bubble popped to realize that not everybody gives a flying fuck about what bothers rich people. Take New York City last week for an example, right? There's a lot of rich people that are like, well, how could I? And that's, I'm not going to do the politics thing right now, but that's how this happens. So Zaslav does not seem to be entertaining the notion of being purchased by Paramount. The administration's like, it's pretty much the only thing they're going to approve. Comcast has come out and said, we're interested. Amazon has come out and said, we're interested. Everybody's interested. Paramount's threatening a hostile takeover. So Zaslav, and he's gotten a lot of shit as the CEO of Warner Brother Discovery. He's really playing this whole thing very, very well, and he's going to make a lot of people a lot of money eventually.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Paramount gets it, but Netflix is also throwing their name in the hat here to buy it, which would be really interesting.
I'm not sold because I think there's stuff in the air, my friend. I think there's stuff in the air. I don't think they could. I mean, they could. It's hard to stop a hostile takeover, but I mean, if all Warner's got to do is spin that thing out, and they're gonna have to start buying up multiple things. So I mean, Zaslav does hold all the cards right now. The economy being what it is what's driving a lot of interesting things. And I just, I don't know, man, revealing the truth about the streaming. I mean, it makes me wonder how much longer live sports on HBO Max will be a thing if Zaslav's already saying those kind of things, which tells me he just doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it probably would be doing better if he still had NBA, and it might be just sour grapes because he lost the NBA, but
a lot of that.
I think Peacock seems to be pretty happy with NBA on Peacock, but I don't know. NFL's doing really good on Amazon, but hold on. Antonio just had a great point, and I think that this is something that we need to talk about.
Later.
He goes, I mean, they just announced the Jetsons live action movie, which makes me happy. Gremlins 3 is going to happen. I think that's probably the biggest story of the week. Let's talk Gremlins 3.
One of my dearest friends tagged me on Facebook to let this know. So, true story. I used to write for Mike's website. That's really how our friendship kind of started. Is I got HBO Max actually, and I was like, I wanted to do it was during the pandemic, and I had nothing better to do, so I was watching a bunch of movies. I'm like, I want to review old movies. Who wants this? And Mike's like, I do. So I literally was writing, and I think one of the first ones I did was Gremlins, because
Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Yeah,
it is a Christmas movie, and I will have that argument with anybody because Christmas it's not a movie that takes place during Christmas. Batman Returns is a movie that takes place during Christmas. Christmas drives the story. All the decisions made in that movie are driven by Christmas.
It's a Christmas gift, right? Like
it's literally a Christmas gift. Everything is shut down because it's Christmas. Like Christmas literally is the driver of the story. And it is my all-time favorite Christmas movie because I'm sick and fucking twisted. But yeah, I am so stoked that not only are we getting Gremlins 3, Chris Columbus and Steven Spielberg are heading this thing up. So
I think if that combination, if they weren't doing it, I don't know that I'd be all that interested. I think we have to have those guys on it if it's gonna work, because I mean, it was their vision to begin with, and I think the vision only works with them at the helm.
Oh, 100%. Like look at what happened. James Mangold's a hell of a director. Like Walk the Line, Logan, like he's made some really good movies. He made Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny with Steven Spielberg kind of half paying attention, and George Lucas didn't at all because they'd sold it. Is trash. So it's far, like Crystal Skull was bad, but Dial of Destiny is way worse. So I mean, like you need to have original, and they're getting older, but Chris Columbus has still proved that he can make some really damn good movies, and I'd love to see him get one more shot with his creation because he created Gremlins, and I would love to see what he's got for the third installment. Now that, geez, Billy Peltz is probably old enough to be a grandfather.
Yeah. So here, Peacock's NBA viewership on opening night reached 1 million average viewers. So 1 million on Peacock, that's pretty good. I don't know that it ever got like that on any other streaming service. But
here's what's wild to me is we're sitting there saying, wow, 1 million viewers is pretty good. The NBA on NBC would get tens of millions of viewers.
Yeah. So it says total, the peak viewership was 7.1 on NBC, and then Peacock had 1 million. So like, I guess combined, they did really good. But I guess the average conversion rate is only 10%. So
it's crazy. It's lower than I thought. That's lower than I thought. I thought it was it'd be better than that. So perhaps our friend got fed some. I hate that people come after him about that, like he made it up. I know for a fact he was told that.
Yeah, he didn't make that up.
No.
And in fact, the way he talked about it, he was talking about it more like viewership on YouTube. How like you can go in and come out and go in and come out. Like you're counted every time you go in and come out, right? Like it's a total views thing versus average viewership, which is measured differently. So whenever I talk about, like, we have to talk about the viewership on Max because we've been covering the story since the beginning. So we have to figure, like, as we get new details, we're going to cover it. But nothing that we're saying is discounting anything that BJ said. So.
No, here's the thing too, is people don't understand what viewership means, and they never really have. Like when you talk, it was really more complicated in the 80s. We talked about households and shares, and like it was you figure it was 2.5 views per household. And it's just, I mean, like there's a very complicated math equation that when you broke it down really never made sense, but the advertisers were like, well, it's good enough. Like, and that's kind of still the thing is advertisers are like, well, it's good enough. It's guesses. Like it's not 100% accurate. And if the advertisers are still willing to pay, that's what matters. The question is with streaming, everybody was all in on streaming. I think we talked about it too, that being the future. And maybe everybody I think the problem is WWE was so far ahead of the curve when they did their own over-the-top streaming service, right? And then they're in on all this stuff, but now everybody's kind of doing what they did, and everybody's finding the same result. You know, like everybody's like, we're going to have our own. Like if ESPN is struggling to create this thing, how else is anybody else gonna? You know what I'm saying? Like these streaming platforms just don't have the weight.
No, they don't. But I think that and BJ actually said this to me like a couple of days ago, that HBO Max will be counted with the new panel whatever data ratings. It'll be counted just like everything else, and it'll be published. So soon the argument is going to be over, and we'll finally get to the bottom of it. And we'll never know what their peak was because AEW's lost so many viewers over the years, but we'll know what they are at the time that we get them. So
I think we have to face the fact that AEW is just a victim of where pro wrestling in general is right now. SmackDown viewership is falling, Raw viewership, whatever, who knows what it is. Netflix doesn't really. Netflix is very cloak and dagger about what they do. Like everything is in the freaking toilet right now compared to what it was. And like we used to make jokes, 6-7 years ago about, well, man, remember the Attitude Era, what Raw was. I mean, now you'd like, wow, I'd love to have those old 2017, 2018 numbers.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different world. And like everything is fucking terrible. So you have to look at everything else. Like your ticket sale numbers, and WWE starting to find that AEW-ish thing where your big shows are selling great, but your run-of-the-mill shows aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, the peak of WWE is definitely over. They do have another big show coming up in Boston. That's the John Cena show. One of the John Cena shows. All the ones that he's going to be on are going to be like over 10,000. But I mean, they got SmackDowns recently that are 3,000 and 4,000, which would have been 8, 9, 10,000 just like a year ago. So
Dave brought up a good point too. Is what happens next year when Cena's gone? Like you don't have a hot program willing to go. Like I know Triple H, hallowed be thy name, the greatest booking genius of all time, who's overseeing this downfall.
Thank you for clarifying that, JD. Make sure it's like a disclaimer. We have to say that.
Have to say it every time, or they show up in our mentions. Oh, speaking of showing up in our mentions, we got a YouTube comment this week from a 2-year-old show.
Yes.
About the NWA.
Defending the cocaine spot on NWA TV.
Like this was great. Mike sent this to me. Like I feel like I have to talk about this because it's so damn funny. Like remember 2 years ago around Halloween time. So like exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They had a thing where James Mitchell and the prostitutes were doing cocaine on the show. And the talk was, are they going to lose their CW deal because of it? And we kind of said, yeah. And some guy like flamed us. That's bullshit. Not in today's world. You guys are dumb. And Mike was like,
he basically said, like, he wasn't saying they didn't lose it because they obviously did. He was saying, oh, CW is like some woke ass company and like they shouldn't have lost it. Everybody's so soft, like, and like, and you guys, sleazy, you guys are covering pro wrestling. It is sleazy. Okay, yeah, fair point. But it's like NWA was more sleazy than they needed to be, and they ended up losing their television deal because of it.
I just find that hilarious that and that you point out this is a 2-year-old episode that you felt the need to comment on. Like, I forgot we even talked about that. That's absolutely crazy to me. Sorry about that. I just popped into my head.
Yeah, Transferring Heat makes a good point. He said, "Need more coke in wrestling." If you ask me, NWA was right. Yeah.
To be honest, brother, I don't think there's less coke in wrestling right now than there was 2 years ago. Let's be quite frank.
Johnny says that guy was in the movie Clerks. Which guy? Which guy was in the movie Clerks? Am I Dante and JD is Randall? Is that what we're saying? Or are we going Jay and Silent Bob? And fucking don't make me Silent Bob because I'll be pissed. I'm already trying to lose weight. So Johnny, please clarify which one of us was in the movie Clerks. So, or he might not be talking about either one of us. So
maybe he's talking about David Zasloff. I have no idea where we're going with this.
I have no idea. But if we're going to talk Clerks, I mean, I could talk Clerks all day. Talk Clerks, Clerks 2, Clerks 3, seen them all, right? Dogma, seen Chasing Amy. I got Chasing Amy DVD in my garage right now because nobody wanted to buy it during the yard sale. And I'm like, well, I can't just throw it away.
Hot take on most Kevin Smith movies, overrated.
Well, that was a good show, everybody. We're done. I quit the show. JD finally has bad taste in movies. I love Mallrats, right?
Mallrats is great. Mallrats is fucking great.
The only Kevin Smith movie that I didn't really care for was he did a movie called Walrus. Just like, did you see that one?
I tried.
Yeah, I couldn't stick with it.
I was like, are you trying to make a bad movie? Is this what the whole point of this is? Are you trying to make a bad fucking movie because you succeeded?
Yeah, and then he had another movie with Tracy Morgan and Bruce Willis, and I cannot remember the name of it, but what was it called?
Cop Out.
It just didn't hit. Like every joke was like every stupid joke that Tracy Morgan's there, and I like Tracy Morgan, by the way, but and I like Bruce Willis, but that movie just did not work. But underrated movie from Kevin Smith, I'm fucking telling you guys right now. Actually, quit watching this show after you like, comment, and subscribe. Red State. I'm telling you, that movie rules so much. I love that movie. It's fantastic. Love it. Jeremy Feinstein says Dogma is underrated for sure. Love Dogma.
I like Dogma quite a bit, actually. I think it's probably the smartest movie. Dogma's pretty good. I don't like Mallrats. Or not Mall, I'm sorry. I don't like Clerks.
Okay, I love Clerks.
Yeah, I know. I think Clerks has got, maybe it's the day I saw it, because when I watched it, I was like, this isn't funny. Like, it just, I don't know. Maybe I was just a contrarian too much in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it came out in 93 and it was in black and white, and like that was kind of weird for people.
Mike, I'm a fucking film school guy. Like, I can watch movies in black and white.
Yeah.
Like,
but for me, it threw me off
Fair.
that it was in black and white. But I just thought that it was just so vulgar, and I'm like 10. And I thought all the jokes hit for me. And I was a big Kevin Smith guy. I used to like watching his stand-up. He actually did a stand-up tour, and
I think he's a better stand-up than he is an actor or a director, to be quite honest with you. Like, I love when he does his spoken word stuff. He's got this routine about John Peters making Superman Lives that's absolutely hilarious. And I could listen to it anytime. And it just, his attention to detail and storytelling, which is why he's such a great podcaster,
right,
is fantastic.
Well, and I just think that what he does in his movies, I think that a lot of people just don't get is the way he writes the dialogue. I think he does a great job with all the dialogue.
That's definitely a strength.
I don't know. I love Kevin Smith. I think he's fantastic. He also does the new Masters of the Universe cartoon. So on Netflix.
That was good.
So that's him.
That was good. I liked the new Masters of the Universe cartoon.
Yeah.
My kid checked out when He-Man died in the first episode. He's like, I'm out. And he like literally
he's like smarting him up, like, bro, he's coming back.
Sure.
Like,
I tried. No,
he can't kill Adam.
No, he was like out. He was like, I'm not interested in this. He's like, I'm not interested in a He-Man show without He-Man. And I was kind of like, it's a good point. So, yeah.
But they brought him back. Like, he had to go to heaven, and then they went and got him. So, which was a whole thing. If you haven't seen the new Masters of the Universe on Netflix, go ahead and check it out. I don't think Kevin Smith is doing that was the cartoon TV show. I don't think he's doing the movie that Netflix.
No, he's not involved in the movie.
No.
It's a Netflix movie, the He-Man thing.
I assumed it was. I don't know. I don't know. I like the OG Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren. I am unabashedly a fan of him.
Okay. I sincerely feel you on this one. I thought I was the only person in the world that actually enjoys the Masters of the Universe film from 1987. Yeah. I think it's a shit ton of fun as long as you didn't like really pay attention to He-Man.
Yeah.
And again, it was He-Man. Who cares? Like Frank Langella as Skeletor in that movie is fucking epic. Like he's just chewing on Senior the whole time. He got shredded for that movie. I assume he did cycles of steroids, and he was pissed off that he didn't get to walk around like butt ass naked with his like jack physique and his skull face. He was like, man, he was looking at that He-Man toy. He's like, shit, I got to look like this. And standing against Dolph Lundgren, I got to get huge. And they covered him in robes, and he was really pissy about that. Which I don't blame him.
Like Masters of the Universe, if you understand what it is and what it's not trying to be, like it's not trying to be a really good movie. It's trying to be a fun movie that you don't have to think. And if you just ignore the fact that it's completely ripping off Star Wars the entire time, like you have to look, the movie is made, like, I know there was a comic book, but there's also like a toy line, right? It was a toy line first and then the comic book.
Yeah, then the cartoon.
Yeah, and then the cartoon. I used to watch the cartoon, and so actually, the Masters of the Universe Christmas special I typically watch every year.
Jeremy's in the. Jeremy just pulled up something great. Hold on a second, I gotta pull this up.
Okay.
Jeremy says Frank Langella is Darkseid, basically. Yeah, 100%. John Burns, his famous comic creator, who Legendary runs in all kinds of comic books, actually said that this is for my comic nerds out there, that the Masters of the Universe movie is the closest thing we're ever going to get to Jack Kirby's Fourth World as a movie, because they're basically walking through boom tubes and shit like that. And Frank Langella is essentially playing Darkseid, and Dolph Lundgren's He-Man is basically Orion. Mike has no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
You guys lost me.
Super nerds out there. That's exactly That's exactly what the Masters of the Universe movie is. It is. I love it for that reason alone.
Yeah.
I came out of that theater at 7 being like, that was awesome. And like, I found out years later, nobody else liked that. Because you would watch like past the credits. That was like the first movie to have like a post-credit sequence. Because He-Man whoops Skeletor's ass and throws him down a pit. And you're like, all right, He-Man won. And you go through the credits. And did Mike even know? At the very end of the movie, Skeletor's head pops up and he goes, I'll be back. Okay, trivia time. They were going to make Masters of the Universe 2, right? That was in production. And then Golden Globus decided, or Canon, was like, we can't make this movie. Like, it was a disaster, but we're already making the movie. So what do we do with all the stuff that we've already gotten made for the stuff? And like, well, let's just rewrite it. We'll take all the stuff we're going to do for Masters of the Universe 2. We'll just rewrite it, make it a new title, and put out. And it became Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Really?
Yeah, Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme was Masters of the Universe 2.
Okay, now I got to go back and we'll rewatch Cyborg. I haven't. That was a long time ago. I have not seen that one in forever.
Not a good movie, but it's a lot of fun because of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the original Predator, of course.
Yeah. Yep. All right, show got off track. I don't even know where we were at, but we got
pro wrestling sucks. What are we talking about, man? This is like the worst time in pro wrestling.
I still want to know if I'm fucking Dante or if I'm Randall, because
no, he said it was the guy who actually made the comment. The guy who made the comment in our in our thing was actually, I don't know if he's being serious or if he's being facetious.
Let me see like the text message that I sent you. If it was somebody named after the Clerks character. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
Now you got to get me riffing on this. Yeah, pro wrestling blows right now. Jeremy Feinstone in the chat. He speaking of Strong Style on the Fight Game Media Network podcast network. Jeremy, I had the question. Are you actually looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom? Please.
Yeah, you know what? We should talk about that. I do. So no, there was no reference. There was no reference in there for Clerks. I don't know.
No.
That guy just threw me off.
No, he's talking about.
It says, I hope you guys talk Okada Tanahashi one day. Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So there was this big rumor going around that Tanahashi's final opponent was going to be Shinsuke Nakamura, and they were trying to work a deal out with WWE. And I think that was just a red herring, that was a false flag operation, and that it was always Okada.
The psyop.
Yeah, it was a psyop, just to make the surprise for Okada bigger. I don't know. Some people are disappointed. I don't know how you could be disappointed. I mean, Okada is Tanahashi's greatest opponent. Nakamura would have been fun because he hadn't been in New Japan in forever. And it's a WWE guy going over there, so it's a little bit controversial. So that would have been cool. But I think Okada was always the guy, and that's the one that makes the most sense. Okada, Wrestle Kingdom, Tanahashi, last match. Like, you have to do it that way, right?
I would think so. It's more fun to say Tony Khan shit on it, especially, dude. My favorite thing, and I know we're not supposed to crap talk other podcasts, but I saw this yesterday that. This thing about that Ishii got hurt. He's like, thanks for screwing up World Tag League, Tony.
Well, hold on. In their defense, I think that Tony Khan got him in a Kimura wrist lock and popped the shoulder out of place. I think that's what happened. Yeah, so he personally injured Ishii. Like Tony Khan's that guy.
Didn't Eddie Kingston break his leg working for New Japan against Gabe Kidd? Didn't that? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
The fetishization of Japanese pro wrestling by some fans is ridiculous to me. It's like, guys, I'm sorry. New Japan fucking sucks, and it sucked for a while. And I'm sorry. I used to really enjoy watching it too, but it's fucking boring. Like, the World Tag League, no one ever gave a fuck about the World Tag League, so let's not pretend that we cared.
I used to like World Tag League. I just kind of been out on New Japan the whole year. But
more than a year, man. More than a year for me. Like, I'm curious to see what Aaron Wolf does, because I kind of dig Aaron Wolf as a judoka. Yeah. So like, I'm a nerd like that. So I'm curious to see if he's any decent at pro wrestling.
I'm looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom for sure. Jeremy says it was not a red herring. Look, let me just get my tinfoil hat. Okay.
Okay, if Jeremy is being more conspiratorial than Mike is, we are through the looking glass, people.
Yeah. But I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to Yota Tsuji and Takeshita. That should be really good.
It should be fun.
I'm hoping they crown Tsuji finally. Because Takeshita, as much as I love Takeshita, he's a AEW mid carder, and he's over there and he's the top guy in New Japan. But when he comes back, he's like and I know they're going to do the big match with Okada one day. One day they're going to get to that big match between Okada and Takeshita, but they're dragging that one out. But I think they're probably going to do it after he loses that title. That would make sense to me. So, but as far as the other podcasts going after Tony Khan for the relationship with New Japan, I think there's a lot of things that you can complain about. I don't think Ishii hurting his shoulder is one of them. It's like I don't think so at all.
I hope, and I hope that was just a joke.
I hope
I don't listen to that show, so I hope that they're just kidding.
I get the feeling that it was.
But what I'm laughing more about is the people in the comments that took it seriously.
Yeah.
Like in the comments was fuck Tony Khan, man. Like it's the most ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. We got to get to our last topic. We're about to come up on we're right at 60 minutes. Okay. So hold on. I'm trying to move on, and Jeremy's blowing us up. All right. Okay, so Okada Takeshita World's End. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that's in Chicago. Maybe I should go.
Yeah. And then C2 finals the week before Wrestle Kingdom, and then it's all part of the politics of Wrestle Kingdom. So they're going to have Okada beat Takeshita before Takeshita goes into the main event of Wrestle Kingdom is probably what it's going to be. So there you go. Yeah. If you want to really complain about Tony Khan, recently they did a tournament for a shot at the IWGP title at Forbidden Door, and it was like 4 guys who had no fucking business challenging for the IWGP title. Like one of them was like God, what's the guy's name? Like he's in Ring of Honor, and he's like a real technical wrestler. I'm not saying Nigel McGuinness was in it, and he's the one that won it, but there was like another guy like Lee something. I can't remember.
Lee Moriarty?
Lee Moriarty. Yes, that guy. I was like, oh yes, top contender Lee Moriarty to the IWGP title. So, all right, let's move on to the final topic of the night. So, because we got to get going. This topic sucks, by the way. I feel real bad about this. Deadlock Pro Wrestling, right here out of the Carolinas. I think they operate out of either Durham or Raleigh, North Carolina. They're what would be considered a super indie. Every time there's a big talent release, like they get a lot of those talents, but they actually have their own show. They have their own streaming service. And they do a lot of big shows here in the Carolinas, but they've been part of WrestleMania weekend. They got a show coming up in Japan in 2026, which is set to be their final show. So it says, Deadlock Pro Wrestling, they're not shutting down, but they're taking an indefinite hiatus after its 4th anniversary show in Cary, North Carolina on December 12th. There'll also be one final event in Japan in 2026 before a hiatus. The 4th anniversary event will be a fundraiser for the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. All proceeds going to charity. That sucks, man. Like they're one of the few independents out there that are really, really good. They have I don't know if you've seen their shows before, if you've seen the clips on Twitter or YouTube. I've actually watched some of their full events, and they actually have like really good camera work, like for an indie, like good production, right? Like probably better than MLW at times. And
MLW is terrible production most times. So
yeah. They have a lot of good talent that keeps coming through there. Jake Something's their champion. And they work, FTR's work there a lot. They work with a lot of AEW talent, a lot of TNA talent, former WWE talent goes there all the time. This sucks, and it's just following a trend of like kind of a downward spiral of independent wrestling, because we just lost Prestige Wrestling, just went out of business too, and that was another super indie that was on the West Coast. So kind of a sad day for independent wrestling.
Yeah. I'm surprised Deadlock was only 4 years old. I thought they had been around longer than that.
No.
It seems like, right, we had this big independent wrestling boom in the 2010s, like especially the mid to late 2010s, which kind of helped usher the rise of AEW. And then the pandemic clearly started changing things. And then post-pandemic, both companies just kind of sopped up all the talent. And then quite frankly, nothing else. There's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's not just on the indies, it's everywhere. Like it's recently occurred to me, Mike, that it's basically 2004, 2005 all over again. And we really don't have a Ring of Honor right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like a super place that's out of the mainstream. Like it's really, I don't know, maybe 1995 actually, maybe more accurate. But at least 1995 had ECW that was cool. So I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Pro wrestling kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, it's really disappointing for me because they recently came to Charlotte and I had every intention on going. And when it came to the day of, I was like, "Oh, I got this going on. I got this going on." And it takes a lot to get me out of my house. So, like I ended up not going even though it was like 45 minutes from my house. I did the same thing the Good Brothers were in Rock Hill, which was literally a 15-minute drive from my house. They were at a gymnastics center where like you take your kids to go do gymnastics. Like that's what they're running in. And next door is where my nieces play soccer at. So I was just there earlier in the day. I was like, oh, I can get here quick. And 8 o'clock rolls around. I was like, I'm in my pajamas already. I just want to leave my house. So like, I guess I'm part of the problem. I refuse to get out of the house to go watch wrestling. But
Well, I mean, you're gonna go to a Good Brothers indie show, like.
yeah,
What were you really gonna watch? It's not like old Doc and Car and Machine Gunka, I believe is what the
no, but it
show
was,
called. We're
it
gonna put
was
on a
independent
show.
wrestling 20 minutes from the house. Like, it's like I was just going to go check it out, but I just didn't do it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, they got to give you. I mean, dude, shit's expensive right now.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
everything. I don't care what anyone tells me. Stuff is expensive. Like you gotta. I mean, I used to never miss an AEW show. I haven't been to one in. It's been a while. I think I might have went to one earlier this year, but it has been. I think I might have gone over for the summer. I forget. But I used to go to them all. Like I can't remember the last one I went to at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they're gonna be in Greensboro on Wednesday. And I was gonna go, that's a 2-hour drive.
let's say, how far is Greensboro from you?
It's 2 hours it's 2 hours from where I live. So I live south of Charlotte, like depending on traffic, 45 minutes to an hour south of Charlotte. And so that's like 2 hours to Greensboro. 30-year-old Mike could do that. 42-year-old Mike with 2 kids and it's got to get up at 5 a.m. the next day to go to work. Can't do that. So that begins to be tougher for me.
I get that. I've done that because it's like a good hour and a half to Chicago from where I'm living out in the boonies. And especially when they run downtown Chicago, because they'll run that Wind Trust. And there was times I didn't think twice, and I drive to work. I'll be a little tired next day. Now I feel I'm like, because Dynamite's not worth it, quite frankly.
Yeah. If I didn't have to like drive to Charlotte the next morning, because I wake up at 5 a.m. and I leave my house at 6:30 to drive an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes because of work traffic. Like during the day, if I didn't have to do that, then maybe if I was working remotely the next day, I could probably think about it, but it's not part of my remote schedule. So, not doing that. And since I'm getting Tuesday off, I got to go to the office every day.
The only reason I would consider it is because it's War Games. Like it's the only reason I would consider it at this point.
Yeah. Just they must not be doing well at the box office. I know it's significantly less than what they did last time they're in Greensboro. That was Sting's last match. But,
that's not fair.
They've dug up Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair to come help with the box office, and they're going to be part of the attraction. And some of the sickos are going to have to look away from the screen because old Rick is going to be there.
Okay. I think they should do that for every market, to be quite frank. I think the AEW, like the AEW ticket selling wing, the marketing wing blows. Right? Not marketing. What's the term I'm looking for? It's late now. The
live event promotion.
Live event promotions. Thank you. Live event promotions wing of the company sucks. It always has sucked. Like they're not very good at like rallying the troops to sell. It's one thing they can learn from TNA, quite frankly, is how to rally up some people and force them to buy some tickets. But again, the difference between TNA and AEW is they got to do it they got to do it weekly.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, man. It's hard. I get it, but that should be somebody's job. Zane Breslov managed to make that work in WCW at a time when people weren't buying tickets to things. So, put up or shut up.
Yeah, I feel you. Mad Dog says it seems like it was very expensive to run, and that's probably why they're not in business anymore. So my advice to anybody that's trying to run a small business is don't spend more money than you bring in, right? Like, you can take loans, but if your loan payments are more than what you're bringing in as part of your revenue, it's not going to last very long, and you're going to keep chasing that dragon and hoping that it's going to turn into a lot of money one day. And if you don't have big money backers behind you doing this stuff, you're probably going to fold eventually, and that's probably what happened here. Because I think these guys, I think they're fitting the bill themselves. They have a really successful podcast. Now they probably have a money guy behind them, but this was born out of just their podcast popularity, which is wild to think about.
Insane. Could you imagine us running a wrestling show? Slap
Cowboy James Storm would be in the main event for sure and would be winning. That. Yeah.
I would watch that. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, nobody ever makes money doing independent wrestling, like except some wrestlers. Like, I don't know. You have to really love it. Like, Tony Khan can operate at a deficit. I don't think he is anymore, but I know he did for a long time.
For sure.
I don't think that you or I would do that. I think we would have a couple of young ladies that'd be very upset with the two of us.
yeah. I when I saw they're going out of business, I was like, what do they need? Like, how could I help? And I was like, if I even think about helping, I'm getting divorced.
Right.
Like, there's no way.
I'm gonna have to go out there to Charlotte and have an intervention with you, Mike.
Yeah.
I
start looking at my stocks and like, hey, what can I sell off to go, to get this back up and running? But no, there's no way. Yeah. But all right, guys, it's getting late. It's almost 11:30 where I'm at. So old man is tired. That is going to do it for us this time on the Mike and JD Show. Head to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. Amen, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game.